News from the floor.
Our man on the street with it. Breaking news.
George Arbogast doesn't watch a lot of Seinfeld.
Yeah, I heard that. Which is surprising to me, given how much media he consumes.
Yes. And I just ate a metric ton of Taco Bell.
Which translates to $6 worth of food. Alright guys, so underway here, Garrett and I talking about some Taco Bell. Meanwhile, Jason Roth getting to work. Jason's played here a lot, but his first feature match, he's piloting mono red here. He says mono red, but that Sacred Family clearly indicating he's got some white cards in this deck. And he's up against Logan Cutlip, everyone's favorite whipping boy, who is piloting Esper Control. So a classic battle of aggro versus control. And we'll see how it goes here. Logan with just 2 lands and then a third Watery Grave tapped. Passing back, so his life total is effectively 13 here. We'll see if Jason can add to his board here. Going to scry with the Temple of Boros. What's that one called?
Triumph. Temple
of Triumph. Oh, Rakdos Cackler.
That's the short
It's been like this. Yeah, this is not a new thing. Is what I'm trying to tell you about tonight's.
Well, Logan didn't have 2 white for a Springboard, so it was okay.
I think it's a hollowed fountain.
Yeah, he's got a hollowed fountain under there.
Yeah, but he has Watery Grave under that plane, so unless he had another untapped white source, he was fine overextending there.
Yeah, and with the Shred Freak having haste, at least you don't feel as bad about piling in.
Yeah, it's a 2-mana shock.
Yeah. There is a Rakdos Cackler.
Still only barely newer, though.
2/2. Interesting there, Jason, using the strategy of using the die to indicate its power.
Didn't have the power and toughness.
Yes.
I hate that.
Well, deal with
Mad
it.
Cat skills.
Mad Cat skills in response. Well, that looked like negate mana there.
He could also just have Azorius.
Yeah, I think he's Azorius Charming here.
Because none of the other targets that Jason's presented are good Azorius Charm targets, being said they all have haste.
Yep.
You don't get the full time-off effect out of it.
Yeah, and the Mad Cat skill is the kind of card that should come right out of the mono red deck when the. When we reach to the sideboards here, Logan hasn't missed a land drop yet. He goes straight up to 6. No Elspeth, but facing down an empty board with a reasonable life total here. Here's the Rakdos Cackler that we knew about from the Azorius Charm last turn.
Well, if Jason can build back up, he can actually beat an Elspeth with the 1-mana haste guy, the Goblin that has the battalion.
Yes, Legion Loyalist.
Loyal Legionist.
And there is a Lightning Strike at end of turn.
So he can beat Elspeth over, but he has to have a board to do so.
Mm-hmm. That is a good point. The oft underlooked third ability on the Legion Loyalist.
First Strike, Trample, and
can't be blocked by
Lingering Souls.
Yes. Designed to attack through Lingering Souls, but also works with Elspeth.
Skull Crack you.
Yeah. So I think this is a little bit of inexperience here from Jason, because the no real reason to do this at sorcery speed, and especially not against a deck that's playing
Rev.
Sphinx's Revelation here. But Logan not responding with a Rev, but is going to counter it as his life total is precious at this point.
But his hesitation there really indicates that he has a Rev, and he just wanted to get greedy with the untapped temple there.
Yeah, I guess there's some leveling there if Jason had planned on like Skull Cracking in response Sphinx's Rev, in response Skull Crack, but I think that's probably out of the realm of possibilities. So down to 4. I think the last card in his hand is a Lightning Strike.
Yeah. Just the pass, no Rev. So if he didn't have it then, he just played that island off the top.
One of the cards in his hand is a Dissolve.
Yeah.
There is a Boros Charm trying for the win. Logan scrying basically everything that isn't a counter isn't the Sphinx's Rev to the bottom at this point. And there's a Lightning Strike, and that's going to be good enough. Sometimes you just have enough burn to get there, and it's a classic game
of. A lot of lands too.
Yeah, and this is one of those classic games of, does the control deck have the verdict on 4? Okay, yes. Do you have enough burn before they draw the Sphinx's Rev?
Right. He needed Logan needed a bridge there to get him because he didn't.
If he has an elixir even, it's good enough.
Well, like the blue-white red deck plays like one War Leader Helix for that exact situation. Jace is usually good in that spot. You see some of the Esper decks pick up cards like Night Mail Spectre and Ash Shock, just as like these fillers to buy you some more time and to throw a body out there. Because it wasn't the burn spells that got Jason the game, it was the creatures that got to attack like that. Rakdos Cackler did what? 4 damage and was threatening 6 on the next turn. It's not bad for 1 mana.
Yes. I agree with all of these things. This is not really mono red, it's more like Boros Aggro. It's not really Boros Burn either, because of...
It probably just has the life for the lightning strikes.
Yeah.
Boros terms. Maybe a couple Chain to the Rocks and a Blind Obedience in the sideboard. That'd be my guess.
So Logan down a game here, drew a lot of lands. Wasn't able to... he was able to stabilize, but couldn't beat a lone Rakdos Cackler that whittled him down. So he's going to play here in Game 2. Both players on 7 cards. Jason starting off with a pretty good curve here. Legion Loyalist into Ash Zealot.
Both trying to do their best Goblin Guide impression.
Yes, these are both very bad Goblin Guides. Gosh, I love a Goblin Guide, man. Booth isn't giving anybody nothing out there, it sounds like, as the Warhammer players.
It was like this.
Well, the Warhammer players are out there. Normally they're just playing Warhammer or X-Wing, but tonight they're also waiting for the midnight pre-release. This is the perfect curve. That's a Reckoner. So Jason curving out perfectly here. Logan is going to need a Supreme Verdict in the darndest fashion here. And it looks like he has it.
Off the planes again.
Living the dream.
It's also impressive that Jason wanted to draw.
Well, and he drew like 6 lands too, like you said. Yeah, it was kind of a weird game actually, because it felt like Logan was, Logan didn't miss a land drop. He had a verdict on 4, but if you don't draw the Rev, those counter spells aren't going to do any good once that Rakdos Cackler hits the board. So there is a Rakdos Cackler. Just this game playing out just like the last one.
Yeah, Jason really needed that Boros Reckoner to be a stronger Phoenix last year.
4 mana here for a felt like a Jace coming. The only thing I can be considering is if he's willing to 1-for-1 a verdict with this Cackler at this point.
Yeah. It's not the worst trade, but it also just leaves you open. Like, 4 mana is a very... Like, Jason played a Temple last turn. 4 mana is very scary to be tapped out against the burn deck, because they can play cards like Burning Earth, Chandra. So we do see Logan tap out for a Jace, which we'll see if Jason has a bullet sideboard card to... Oh, he's minusing it.
This seems aggressive.
Seems very aggressive.
But I'm going to be honest with you. You can kind of bait Jason into attacking the Jace here, which I think would work out perfectly for Logan. So Blind Obedience versus a land and the Sweeper.
Yeah, I think you just take the Blind Obedience, because Logan's already played his land for the turn, too.
It depends on if Logan... Well, I don't know. If you have an Elspeth in hand, I'm pretty tempted to guarantee that 6 land. He has
he doesn't have
he has a D-Sphere and a Rev in his hand, so that's pretty good.
Yeah, so we just take the Blind Obedience.
So just take the Blind Obedience. It's going to slow down the haste creatures, more importantly going to give him some incidental life gain. So here's a pretty telling point. Is Jason going to attack the Jace? That's the question. I think he's more tempted to do it now that he has another creature.
Yeah, he has a 1/1 creature, he has to. Otherwise he just gets blanked.
Of all the things we could have done, I think... Oh!
Dino Charge.
Yep, so... Take 4 and Jace dies, right?
Looks like it.
Yep. So that's fine. If I had the Dino Charge, I probably would have just gone after Logan.
I mean, your Legion Lord must have shut down after this turn, then.
Yeah, but, well, yeah. I don't know, you also have a deck full of burn, too.
Yep. Cold.
You're cold in here?
Yeah.
Well,
I'm in shorts, Mr. Wintercoat.
No, that's what I'm going to say. Like, I'm always cold, but if you're cold, then it's legitimately cold in here. As you can often hang meat in the broom closet.
Which is what I'm doing right now.
I'm going to let that one... I'm just going to let that one simmer. So, Logan, we're going to verdict here. We're going to replace the Jace. We do. We have to tick it up at this point, right? You just, like you say, you just blank the...
He thought a long time about that lane last turn, so he might need another lane. If he could go land blind obedience this turn.
Yeah, so...
Chase him from any kind of haste creature next turn.
So, Rev versus Last Breath and a 6th land.
Yeah, you definitely take the 2-card top since
Yeah,
you have the Rev in your hand.
Yeah, I'm pretty sure he has a Rev in his hand. It could be the same D-Sphere. That's aggressive. That's aggressive. I'm gonna be honest. I'm not particularly thrilled with the way that either player has played this game specifically.
Well, shock for playing an untapped shock to get an Azorius strong here is worth it. If you're going to see a Pithing Needle come down and probably name Jace or Elspeth.
Yeah, I don't like that we brought in the needle either. By the time you can cast a needle and it does work, you're probably losing that game anyway.
If he needles Jace, it's effective. If nothing happens to these creatures, it's effectively dealt 2 damage because it'll let him deal 2 damage next turn. That's assuming Logan would tick out the Jace instead of just...
But he never ticks it up. He's obsessed with ticking it down.
The thing is, whenever you're playing against a red deck, it doesn't matter how many cards you have in your hand, because if you die with 7 cards in your hand, you basically don't have those cards in your hand. So having all this card advantage is nice and all, but not going to do too much whenever you just die.
And there's a Boros Charm.
So Logan has to have a negate here. Nope, he had a syncopate. He had a syncopate for 1, and Jason had
1 mana up.
With life.
I genuinely, congratulations to Jason there, first feature match, and he gets a win. But I genuinely feel like if Logan played that game differently, then that result would not have happened. Game 1, there was nothing he could do. He just didn't draw the life gain he needed to dig out.
I just now thought, with Jason that last turn also with tap Sacred Foundry or a Charmin. Still had all these tap Sacred Foundries. He had the play. Like he played around Syncopate for 1. He had the 1 mountain up, so he didn't have to worry about that. Funny situation to me.
It's downright hilarious. This right here is a piece of paper that's still in my pocket from when Nick at the PTQ sent me out to a place called McAllister's Deli to get lunch.
Has he learned his lesson about sending people out to get food? Needing specific instructions.
Oh, was that the pierogi platter thing incident?
Yes.
I still think that the people at Barley screwed you. Like I don't, because I've ordered the exact same thing and gotten
Yeah.
whatever.